Hello, hello, hello. Sorry for the bard. I'm not dead. Jesus. Wait a minute. Let me see. If I am dead, I might be. See, I can breathe. And I can still think. Not clearly, but I can still think. Listen, Sir David the Bard, I'm coming to you from Kangaroo City down here in Australia. And I just flew up to Salt Lake City to a rally up there. I have a couple of links. I wasn't going to put the links and do this video because I thought, well, God, you know, these people aren't stupid. They know what the hell is going on. And I keep forgetting, you don't. I go to 220 countries in the world, and most of them have no idea what is going on in Salt Lake City. So sometimes I'm the only reliable, I hope reliable, link to the truth of what's going on with the Mormon Church. Well, they had a rally yesterday. Over 1,000 people showed up to resign from the Mormon Church en masse. I have a couple of links down below that show they went to the park. It was a nice sunny day. Jesus wasn't there, but he's never been there, you know. With the Mormons, I just say, and I'm copying this, okay, Jesus has left the church. He left the building and he left the church. I copied that from somebody else. I never take other people's material unless I give them credit. Anyway, 1,000 of them, roughly, resigned from the Mormon Church. The mailbox was totally filled, and there were attorneys there that helped the people fill out their resignation forms. You don't have to do that. Evidently, it goes faster if you do that. But anyway, a lot of beautiful young people, some older people, saying, you know, the gay policy now, excommunicating gay people if they marry or they live together, obeying the law, they're still excommunicated, and any children that are in a gay marriage or brought to a gay marriage or born into a gay marriage are non-members of the church, cannot have a name and a blessing, which all children get, and cannot be baptized when they're 8 years old, cannot go to the baptisms for the dead. Usually around 12 years old the kids do that, and can't go on a mission, and can't go to BYU, and can't get married in the temple, and can't. Hate. They hate those little kids. How can you hate even a gay baby? A baby is so precious, but not to the Mormons. Not to the Mormons. If the baby ain't paying tithing and does what the Mormon Church says she should do with her vagina, she ain't a member. So anyway, I have a link showing the people resigning from the Mormon Church. It's quite a scene here in Utah. They were on the streets. I didn't go. I was going to go. And I was going to take my daughter, Abigail, who's lesbian, and her name was on the records of the church, and I thought they ought to be taken off in her given name. She's adopted now. They don't have her adopted name, but anyway, they're holding her on there as one of the 15 million, which after Saturday there weren't 15 millions. The people are resigning in the thousands, and the missionaries are not making that up. And so I'm curious when conference comes up if the church will be honest and show that its membership has shrunk, which we all know that it has, or they're just going to continue to lie. They don't have 15 million. They have about 4 million that are active members of the Mormon Church. So anyway, I have to tell you, you know, I haven't been on for a week or so because I don't know why. Because I don't want to. Anyway, my father-in-law, Ty, God dang, he and I are the best of friends. I love the guy. He's like a brother, and he's like a father and a friend. The other day, Allison calls herself, now Allison's my youngest one, she's almost 13 now, and she calls herself the Lone Wolf. The Lone Wolf, when there's nobody here in the house except her. She says, Dad, I'm the Lone Wolf. I feel sorry for her, but she's 13, good Lord, she can, you know, she can drive my car, and I mean, she's a grown-up girl all the way, if you know what I mean. So anyway, I called her on my cell phone. We were out in a business deal, and I called her and I said, are you home from school? And she goes, yes. And I said, well, are you the lone wolf? She goes, no, Grandma's here. Well, Grandma was in the back seat of my car. So I said to Allison, I said, listen, there's a lady here in my car that looks an awful lot like Grandma. Allison, I thought she was upstairs. I am the lone wolf. So we're all laughing that she thought Grandma was in the house. Well, then Ty's sitting beside me in the car there, and he says, well, next time I'll tell my wife, put pillows like a person and throw a blanket over. Allison will think she's there. He's a funny dude. He really is. I have to tell you how proud I am of him. He has hooked up with a gallery, a studio gallery, where they do portraits and landscapes and all kinds of art. They've invited him to be there, I don't know, 2 or 3 days a week. And last night, he made his first $10 in the United States of America. He's been in the country about 2 months, I guess. And his talent and his skill is already being recognized. People are paying for him to draw. And he does charcoal, and he does, I was going to say pastries. It's not pastries. It's not watercolors. It's, you know what I'm saying. If you watch this show, you write half the show because I don't know what the words are. So anyway, I'm so happy that he bought a Kenny Rogers tape. First time he ever had money to buy something for himself. He has spent 74 years supporting his family in the Philippines. Never had a dime for himself. Never bought clothes or a hat or anything that wasn't a necessity. The money always went to the children. And we were in Target. I had to tell you, I like the Target handicap machine. It goes pretty fast. I like that one. And so I'm riding around in the machine. I love to run the batteries down in those damn things. And I love to leave them in the parking lot with a dead battery. I go, how the hell are they going to get it back in the store? Run a cord way out? I don't know. But anyway, they see the barn coming in. They start to hide all the handicapped carts. Well, we're in the store there, and he used his credit card, debit card, and bought a Kenny Rogers tape. Well, he couldn't wait to get out of the store and get back in the car with me, because, you know, my car has a pretty nice stereo system in it, and listen to Kenny Rogers. So, anyway, he and I hang out all the time. We have a little job. I can't think, he can't hear or see, but the two of us together, we make a pretty good man. A pretty good man. So we make a little bit of money to help the family out. And now he's earned his first money in the United States. And I'm just saying, immigrants are wonderful. If they're here because they want to be here and they're willing to work, he's taking, and she's taking English classes. They go Monday and Wednesday to their English class, and they're learning our language. And they set up a Christmas tree 2 or 3 days ago. First time in their whole life they've had a Christmas tree. I remember their daughter, Mercy, which is my wife. We had the first Christmas with the kids, and we bought them bikes, and we bought them, you know, the typical American Christmas. And after all the presents were opened, I found Mercy sitting on the couch crying. And I thought, gee, you know, it's Christmas, why would a person be crying? Well, I went over and I asked her, I said, honey, why are you crying? And she said, well, I see the things that these kids got in one day. in my whole life in the Philippines, I never had anything. And she said to me, she said, would you teach me to ride a bike? I never had a bike, and I never learned to ride a bike. I said, sure, I'll teach you to ride a bike. You know, you have those kinds of experiences. As a U.S. citizen, I had everything. I always had a Christmas and toys and bikes and candy and whatever. I'm humble. I guess that's the right word. I'm humbled that I've had so much and been so ungrateful and been so arrogant, ethnocentristic, that people are poor because they want to be poor. I've learned that's not always true. Not always true. So, sitting back the other night, watching 3 or 4 of them put the Christmas tree together, and they're so amazed at the lights and the little ornaments and how the tree goes together, and getting it out of the shed and putting it up, and then putting curtains around it, and it warmed my heart. It really warmed my heart that I could see people who've never had anything, now they have everything. Ty and I went over to the senior center. They hate me over there. I haven't been banned, Anna. I haven't been banned. And I was going to do this program in my underwear. And I thought, Anna will be pounding on my door. I don't need that. Yeah, I do need that, Anna. Just pound on my door. I'll let you in. Anyway, we went over to the senior center. And Ty is 74. And I'm close to 70. And so we had lunch over there, and you know, he's a very personable, social guy, just the opposite of me. You know, I wish all those dead people, or all those old people would just die, and then I wouldn't have to stand in line, but that's me. So anyway, we had dinner over there, lunch, and then they had a table, long tables that were full of food that the community donates to the senior center there. And I said to him, well, the lady said, anyone that's 90 to 100 can get in line first. Age discrimination? I didn't. I wanted to, but I wanted some free food. I ain't gonna upset them. So we had to wait for the 90s and the 100s to go through first. Well, I kept yelling, go faster. Those people don't go that fast at anything. You know, they're battling walkers, crutches, wheelchairs. Goddamn, move it along, people, move it along. So then they said, okay, those between 60 and 70. So Ty and I jumped up. We go, hey, we're in line next. So we go over there, and they give us this big bag. And Ty takes the bag, and I take the bag, and they said, now you can have 4 things from this table, 4 and 4 from that table. And we're going through, oh my God, they had milk, they had carrots, they had apples, they had pies, cakes, cookies, bread, Subway sandwiches. They had all kinds of stuff there. And we're going through, and we're about halfway through, and I look at Ty's big bag, and there's a little thing in the bottom. And what the hell, man, why aren't you picking up the crap? He says, well, how much is it going to cost? God, Ty, it's free. Free? Go back and get some carrots and some apples, and he loves bananas. That's one of his favorite food. They had beautiful bananas there. So he picked up bananas and started filling his bag up. And he said, I thought we had to pay. And I go, no. He says, United States, free food. I mean, the guy's in heaven. The guy is in heaven. And I'm so happy. I'm just so happy. The temperature in Utah, it was around 21 degrees, and you know, he's never seen that kind of cold. Being on the equator in the Philippines, it's never under 90 degrees, never 90 to 100 every day. Well, anyway, he came out to the car, going to our little work job, and he has one glove that he found in the house, somewhere in the house, I don't know where, one of the kids' gloves, and he's a small man, so it fit him. And then he found another glove. Well, they didn't match. He comes out to the car and these unmatched gloves because he's so cold. And I said, you know, that doesn't look like Michael Jackson. That looks like an idiot type. So we bought him some nice black gloves, and then he had a little thin coat, and we had to buy him a big thick coat. Then Mercy buys him, you know, this ski hat that goes over and his hood goes up, and now he's able to be outside and not freeze to death like an ice cube. So anyway, it's fun watching them. And Grandma now, she has her own money. She's working now in the United States, and she goes over to the store, uses her debit card, buys food, buys whatever she wants, comes back. They've never been able to do those things. And I'm just thrilled. I'm just thrilled that they're able to do those things. So anyway, I wanted to do an update on them. The kids are doing fine. Abigail, oh my God, she's turned into such a beautiful woman. She goes to the gym every day. I should go over to the gym and hang out over there. I'm not going to get on any of those damn machines. That makes me sweat, and that makes me tired. But I sit there and watch these young girls. My God, she goes to the gym every day, and she's a perfect 10. Unbelievable. The girl can, I don't know, she bench presses Volkswagens, and she runs, you know, from here to Nebraska every day. Well, anyway, you know, my situation is the girls are not that much interested in me anymore. Oh, I gotta tell you, you know, I wear this pump that pumps insulin into my body 24/7, and oh my gosh, it's made all the difference in the world. It's the first thing I've ever had that really works the way they say it's going to work, and it's worth the money. It's $4,000 to pump, okay, and it pumps. It pumps all day, pumps all night, holds my sugar steady, unless I eat something. Then when I eat something, then I have to push extra insulin into my body. Well, I now have, I should show you, Anna, Anna, turn around. Can you see my little button here? Oh, the diabetic button. You people, get your minds out of there. Okay, this is the one here that the pump is hooked to. It puts the insulin in my body automatically. And this is $13, and it has to be changed every 4 or 5 days. This one here is $35, and it has to be changed every 5 or 6 days. This is the new one. This one Wi-Fi's to the pump and tells the pump what my sugars are 24/7. So I don't have to have a sugar machine anymore, you know, a tester machine. I just look on here and say, okay, my sugar is 112. Is that cool or is that cool? Now, that was $1,000. That I had to pay for. Obama said, no. I already paid for that one. You buy that one. Okay. So I bought that one for $1,000. Now, there's another one coming in the next 2 days. It'll glue on here. I'm the glue on man. I swear there's more machines keeping a worthless human being alive. It's not worth it. I'm not worth all this money. But anyway, I vote Democrat most of the time, so I deserve the money. The Republicans hate me. Anyway, the new one is coming. Now, it was cheaper. It's $200. And it can glue on, or you can wear it like a chain. Now, you know those big gold chains these guys wear that are drug dealers? Well, I'm thinking of getting one of those and just sticking it on the back. Anyway, it talks to both of them. And then it goes over to my phone and tells my phone what's going on. So I just look at my phone all day long, which is, of course, in my pocket, butt calling everybody, you know, in Kansas, and look at my phone and see my sugar, where my body is, you know. Now, we used to call that a mirror where my body is, but now it's a cell phone, and it'll tell all these machines to report, and then I can look in the cell phone and say, hey, I need to dump in, a couple of units here, a couple of units there. So anyway, now the diabetic lady, I went over there because I can't always, the computer is very complex. It's very complex, and it shoots a certain amount of insulin for so many hours. Like in the daytime, I can choose, it pushes 7 units an hour on me. That's a lot of units, but it pushes 7 units an hour from 6 a.m. until 9 p.m. And then at 9 p.m. I'm in bed and I'm not eating anything, so the machine goes to 4. It just pumps 4 in, and it just holds my blood sugar perfect through the night. And it holds it perfect through the day. When I eat something, then I put extra in. So I went over to her and I said, it has an alarm on it. And if you're going to go too high or too low on sugar, it will alarm and say, hey, be stupid. Put more sugar in or go get a sandwich. So I go over there and she said, it has a weak signal from the Wi-Fi. I said, how the hell is that happening? Well, I had the... I'm so embarrassed. I was 78 pounds. Oh, no, not in high school. I was 178 pounds. I might have been 78 somewhere, but in high school, I'm 170. I just crossed over 300 pounds, and I'm trying very hard now, very hard to get it back down. Not to 178, but back down into the 2s. Anyway, I had the Wi-Fi over here, and the computer's here, and she says, Bard, I don't think the signal can get around the mountain. I go, you bitch, you bitch. I'm just telling you the truth. You got to put that where it can actually get the signal to the computer. Don't put it over here. There's too much mountain. I said, okay. So you can see where it is now. It's by here, and it's around the mountain. So anyway, that's going good, and I'm expecting my new unit to report to my cell phone, and it will report to my computer, too. In fact, I think it reports to Obama. It's CIA. It tells everybody where the Bard sugar is. So anyway, I have this now. And this is bitching. I've got to climb up 3 staircases when I'm here in Kangaroo City. And when I get up, I'm kind of winded. And I come in here, 8 or 9 hits. It's like I never climbed up. I mean, it's cool. It works. And I try to wear it, when I'm sleeping in my chair at night. So anyway, I'm on oxygen now. And then my CCAP should be here any day. So at night, I'll have a mask on. In fact, I think I'll call myself the Masked Man. I have a mask on. No one can identify me. And the other mask is bigger. It has straps on my head. It kind of looks like electroconvulsive therapy hats. I had electroconvulsive therapy once and had one of the hats. But anyway, I said to my doctor, I said, can I pick up chicks with this mask? And he said, well, I wouldn't go to a bar with it, but Walmart or Kmart, you might get somebody, I don't know. So I have something on and I take 10 medications a day. It costs thousands of dollars to keep me alive. I don't think it's worth it. I really don't. But my family does. And some of you do. Not many of you. But some of you think, I should try to stay alive. Now, let me see if I have anything else to report. I don't think I do. I'll do another video because this one's getting a little bit long. But anyway, if you want to join resign from the Mormon Church, take a look at the newspaper, look at my links. And if you want to do that, fine. I'm not saying that you should. I should, and I did. I resigned. I don't want my name on those policies and procedures. Bopping a 14-year-old, yeah, in my fantasies, but not in life. Not in life, no. This is, a civilized world, and Joseph Smith was not that civilized. So anyway, I try to pray 3 times a day. Oh God, hear the words of my mouth. Pele Ale, the true order of prayer, and I don't want you to try to intimidate me by cutting my throat, ripping my heart out, or ripping my guts out. I want to give you the second token of the Melchizedek priesthood, the patriarchal grip or sure sign of the nail. And I do this to let people know that say, you know, he was never a member of the Mormon Church. I wish that was true, but it's not. So you have, please, health and enable, marrow in the bones, strength and loins and sinews, power of the priesthood be upon me and upon my posterity through all generations of time and throughout all eternity. This bard is gone.